let's talk about a fascinating and kind of terrifying parasitoid wasp, the Hymenoepimecis argyraphaga. Oh, you have no idea how many times it took to record that name, because it doesn't have a common name yet. It took me several times to pronounce that, and that's the only time I'm saying it in the video. This is that wasp. It is found only in Costa Rica, and it is a parasitoid, meaning that it relies entirely on other organisms for reproduction and the survival of its larva. Specifically, it is the parasitoid of this guy, a type of orb weaver spider, Leucage argyra. And again, that is the only time I will be saying that. Now, for the beginning, the wasp-spider parasitoid relationship is relatively similar to other types of parasitoid. The wasp stings the spider and lays eggs in it. Now, the wasp does this by one of two different methods. One, waiting for an opening and just kind of openly attacking the spider and stinging it so it is paralyzed and then laying its eggs in it. Or a sneakier method where the wasp pretends to be caught in the spider's web, and when the spider comes over to eat the wasp instead stings, paralyzes, and lays its eggs in it. Now, all of that is fairly normal, and the parasitoid relationship continues on the regular path where the larva will hatch out of the egg and kind of just live inside the spider for a while until they have matured and are ready for metamorphosis. However, that is where things start to get weird, or even weirder than parasitoids are. Parasitoids in general are already freaky, but the larva, when they have eaten enough sustenance from the spider and are ready to metamorphosize, they will start to release mind control chemicals. These chemicals make their way to the spider's brain and alter the web spinning behavior. Up until this point, the orb weaver spider will continue to kind of function as a regular spider, spinning webs, eating food, all of that. But when the larva release these chemicals, it starts to spin a web of a very specific structure, namely this kind of structure, which does not look anything like the regular web of the orb weaver spider. In specific, this thing right here is a cocoon. It makes this just weird shaped web. It also makes the cocoon entirely out of spider silk. Once the cocoon and the weird-shaped web is finished, the spider will then just sit in the middle of this weird mutant web and wait for the larva to finally fully kill it. Then the larva will take kind of one last meal from the host spider and then move into the cocoon where they will pupate and then later emerge as the fully adult spider parasitizing or parasitoidizing, I guess, wasp and start the cycle all over again. You can see up here there's another example of the adult wasp, and then there's another example of the spider in that cocoon, and then I'm pretty sure that is the adult wasp as well. We've talked before about other types of parasites and parasitoids, specifically other parasitoid wasps, because there's a lot of them, and each of them are uniquely horrifying in their own way. But I especially am fascinated by the ones that are capable of mind control, like this guy and like the Dementor wasp like we talked about a while ago, that instead of just stinging and paralyzing their victims, they take over their victim's mind and make them act in a way that is no longer beneficial for the host and instead only benefits the parasitoids, and I think that's just neat.